Is it too us to has fun?
Sure guys, welcome to another gardening video on my channel. My name is Spunks. Guys, I hope you're having a great day and I hope you are outside gardening. I don't have to tell you twice. So yeah guys, so in South Africa right now we in autumn slash winter. So I thought it would be a nice video if I did 7 crops, 7 that you can grow right now and in winter and leading up into winter. In South Africa, we're really privileged to have really nice weather where in other areas in winter we wouldn't be able to grow, but in winter here we're still able to grow stuff. For example, I still have, let me show you. So in winter we still have you know, we're in autumn, but we still have tomatoes growing. There's a bunch of tomatoes just growing, you know, so you know, just a bunch, just, and even, you know, even here we have a tomato here, and let me show you. Yeah, so even here we have a tomato here that's still growing and still producing, that we'll still be able to harvest in winter. And even to show you how nice our weather is, guys, I have a little surprise. I'm so excited to share with you guys. When I saw it, I was so excited. So I'm gonna show you something right now, and this should be proof that we can, in South Africa, we can grow pretty much anything at any time. So right now behind the spinach is growing a mango tree. Now imagine in autumn a mango tree is growing. I don't know if you guys can see that properly. It's just that it's like literally in the shade of the, oh, there we go. There we go. You see? Now we have a mango tree just growing, and it literally sprouted, I would say like maybe 5 days ago. It literally grew from a pip that I had in the garden, that I just threw in the garden, you know, not even thinking anything about it. And it grew, man, and it sprouted. So yeah guys, that should be a great example that at the moment anything is able to grow, and you shouldn't be afraid to try and grow things that you want to be growing right now. You know, that's the whole process of gardening. It's trial and error, and you learn and stuff. Don't be scared to plant things that you've wanted to plant and you're thinking, nah, it's not the right time. It's definitely the right time. Can do it whenever. For me, what I've experienced, that there are certain crops that won't do as well as others, such as peppers, you know, such as peppers. I think the peppers right now are, you know, they're feeling the cold and they're starting to die off now. So I think peppers would be one, and another one would be grapes. So I don't know if you can see these twigs. Yeah, that's the grapes. Right now they're also feeling the winter, but you know, I've only learned that these don't grow in winter by doing. So now that's out of the way, let's get into the 7 crops. So first we have Swiss chard, and this is probably one of my favorite spinach. For me it grows really easy. It really grows really easy, and it's easy to maintain. You just have to keep chopping off the leaves, and the more you chop, the more it's gonna grow. What I really like about the spinach, the Swiss chard, is that I like that it's aesthetic. Number one, it's really aesthetic. I like the different colors. Hopefully I can grow some of the red soon. And for me, just the aesthetic, the yellow, you know, it's a really nice pop of color, and also it's beneficial. It's a good source of vitamin K and fiber, you know, and just disease fighting properties, you know, all those good things. And what I also really like is that it grows really big. For me, this is like really big, but I feel like it can really get bigger than this. And I just like the fact that it's really simple to grow. It's one of those vegetables that I would really suggest for a beginner gardener as compared to something like spinach. Let me show you. As compared to spinach, that it really, it's not doing as well as the Swiss chard. It's harder to grow and maintain. I think you can see it's not like the leaves are not even. It's just it's a bit of a struggle. And also baby spinach as well. I would also put baby spinach in the crops that I would recommend because it's really easy to grow. The problem with baby spinach that I've found is that it really goes to seed very quickly, and that could be a real problem because I prefer crops that are perennial and that will always be there, and you don't need to constantly cut them out to grow new ones, but they grow really quickly. So yeah, number one, Swiss chard. Look at this beauty. And then we have beans. Beans are another one that I actually like growing in winter. Um, Broad beans to be specific, but right now I'm growing bush beans. So I want to actually see if they're actually going to grow. But apparently broad beans are the ones to be growing in winter. Beans for me, I've only started growing beans this season, this season, and they haven't been really doing that well. And I think maybe that's because they grew in the hotter seasons, and maybe they don't do really that well in the hot seasons. And as you can see, even now in autumn, they're still growing, they're still flourishing. So I planted some more yesterday, and we'll see how they actually produce. So yeah, man, beans very easy to grow. However, the harvests could vary, and I think my harvests in the summer, spring weren't really that good, and I attribute it to probably the the heat, but I'm not really sure. I'm just guessing. So we'll see how they do in the winter. And yeah, man, I'm gonna let you guys know. You know. And that's gonna bring me to the next bed, which is over here, which is peas. Yeah, so peas, I like peas. I've grown a lot. They were probably the first crop that I grew at first, and they were the first to pop up. So I would definitely recommend peas because it's very easy, like for beginner gardeners and for advanced gardeners. I would really recommend it because it's very easy, and it gives you a nice sense of hope that things are going to grow because it's always the first one to pop up. And so I've grown more in this patch, and usually I grow the sugar pod, which I really like. The only thing is with the sugar pod is that it's there for a short period and then it goes away. So I try to do now the bush. I think it's the green feast pea. So that's a bush pea. So I'm gonna try that and see how that works out. But I'm really excited because peas, I know they grow really fast and they're very easy to maintain. And hopefully I can also come up with a new trellising method that I can use. So yeah, man, peas number 3. And then we have kale. So kale, I grew the first time that I had this garden, and it grew really big. And the only reason I took it out was because we weren't eating it in the house. But I'm really thinking that I need to grow it again. Why I'm thinking is because I want to put it in smoothies, and I've tried it before where I put it in a smoothie and it didn't taste too good. But the thing is with kale is that it's really nutrient dense, so it has a lot of nutrients in it, and it's rich in vitamin K and vitamin C, and it grows. So number one, I want to grow it in this patch alongside the nasturtium. So I want to grow the nasturtium underneath, and then the kale must be growing upward. So the kale, it will be big enough to grow in this and crowd out this whole part of the garden. if you want to do kale, I would definitely recommend for you to grow kale. I would say that you need some space in order to actually grow it to its full capacity, because it really gets really big, and when you harvest it, just like the lettuce, it grows back again. So I would say definitely kale number for this. So at number 5, beets, my favorite, beets. So right here I'm growing some beets, and beets really do well. I think for me in South Africa, they do really well at any season. Um, Here's another beet there. This one I transplanted, so it's not doing too well, but I think it's gonna recover. But I think beets do really well in any season in South Africa. They produce really well, and also they're easy, very easy to grow, which I really like. For me, I would say out of the root crops after carrots, it's probably one of my favorite to grow. And yeah, guys, beets. And they also taste delicious, so delicious. And then at number 6, we have carrots. Carrots for me, at first, let me be honest, at first, carrots for me, I didn't really like them. I was like, nah, these are too hard to grow. Yeah, so as you can see, they're getting better and better as they go on. This one was chewed by something in there. I think I left it in the ground for too long. But one thing about carrots is that they really like the cold ground. And as you can, if you can even feel the carrots, they really like the cold. And I think they grow better when it's cold. So yeah, if you're having problems growing carrots, what I would recommend is that you put any organic material onto the ground of the plot that you want to grow the carrots in. So if you have like old banana peels, any peels actually, I would recommend, and then in that way, the worms and beneficial insects will come and eat there and then poop that out. And then that will actually add more nutrients to the garden and make it a lot softer for the carrots. And then when you're planting, remove the organic matter such as leaves and stuff or mulch, and then plant into the ground, because they are really prone to having trouble with actually like growing when there's an obstruction blocking them from growing. And so I would just recommend those things, but do it now. Even, I think I even planted yesterday, and hopefully they will grow. But yeah, they really love the winter, and they love it when it's cold, when the ground is cold. And I think we get like the perfect coldness of ground. It's not too cold, it's not too hot, and there's no frost. And then at number 7, we have lettuce. Lettuce. So lettuce for me is one of my favorite again. Loves the hot weather. I mean, loves the cold weather. Probably hates the hot weather because you always see it bolting when it's too hot. Also seeds very quickly when it's in summer, or in hot weather. So I would definitely recommend lettuce. Lettuce loves the winter, and it just becomes, the lettuce leaves become more crisp as the winter goes on. So definitely lettuce. I don't think I need to convince you anymore. Do I? No. Lettuce, for me, I think any greens, salad greens that you can grow, I think it definitely will be beneficial and will be a lot easier, or will best grow in winter. And then just for a little, just for an extra one, I put in thyme. Yeah, so thyme, a herb. I would say any herb, really. I would say any herb is good to grow in this time, because they not, herbs are not too fussy in the times that they grow. So I would definitely recommend, but I would say thyme probably grows best in winter. And right now I'm growing some thyme as well. Those are my 7, and I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you're out in the garden watching this and getting some tips. And also I wanted to do a video on the mistakes that I did when I first started the garden, and things that you should avoid doing when you first start the garden. And let me know if you would like to see that. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Also, recommend anything that you want, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Love, peace, and grow